Hey guys, we are live on YouTube. How you doing? Thursday afternoon. What's the date today? 5th of October, 1923. We've been doing this for a whole bunch of years. I think it was 2015, I think we started. So we're doing a pretty good run on this. Hi, Corey, how you doing? Bruno BRC is there in the house. That's a guy that races with me for Parking Lot Wars. Okay, tonight's subject is going to be SORRCA, so it might be dry for some people, and it might not. But before we go to the SORRCA rules, let me show you something real quick. Sorry that my face has become real bright because my monitor is on the bright setting right now. I didn't change that. So Spin Rush went to the All Japan Model and Hobby Show right here. So on this, he's showing a lot of different stuff. He told me I could show it.
There he is.
And we are going into the Tokyo Model and Hobby Show for 2023. I got my ticket. Oh my god, I'm really excited. We're gonna go in here today. We're gonna take a look at some of what Kyosho has, what Tamiya has, Yokomo. All your favorite Japanese RC makers are in this room behind me, as well as a bunch of other things that we're gonna take a look at. So follow me inside. I'm gonna give you a good show. We're gonna take a look at their pavilion. But yeah, I have a
So
kid.
he
I'll
is
show you some
showing a whole
pictures
bunch
it
of
real
stuff.
soon.
There's the back.
This is pretty awesome. What a nice treat. Take a look.
So I have not looked
Some
at it. I'm
other
just
rigs.
going through real quick.
It's for their phasers.
Going through it real quick just to show you guys. I will put the link in the chat. If you guys want to go see it, go right ahead. Go have a look at it. There's a mini Z. Kyosho is going crazy on mini Zs this year.
Yeah, what did you say that catalog had, Tank?
Yeah, it's like a 50-page catalog, the digital one I sent to Brad the other day. There's 50 pages. The first 20 pages are just mini Zs. And there's 9 pages of the phasers, and the rest are just mix of a little bit of everything from Kyosho.
For legendary series and stuff.
Yeah, but there's 20 page out of that 50-page catalog. Almost half of it is just mini Zs. It's crazy.
I spread it around the catalog to people.
Okay, I am using that microphone, which is good. I sometimes switch to my deep voice microphone. Let me put that link in the chat real quick. And then we can. So that one's in the chat. And let me bring out my other one.
How you doing, Jack? What's up, JD? Nathan, Crawdaddy, Bruno, Corey?
Thank you for mentioning everybody in the chat. Hi, guys in the chat. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
It wasn't showing me people who were on the site when I was already there. I have to refresh this.
Okay. Okay.
Nathan, that's the link to the hobby show for Spin Rush's channel.
Yeah, thank you. I should have put a text before it. Okay, SORRCA rules. It's going to be a long night for some people. And we're going to start with page 1. And there is 50 page on this PDF. So good thing page 1 is very quick, but just letting you know that there is 3 pages, 4 pages just of table of content. And then 1 page of what's new for 2023. And this is a updated version. I think it's like the 2nd or 3rd version in 2023. They did do some modification on it. So there's a revision and what's been changed on the pages. Not to scare anybody, we are not gonna go through the 50 pages,
Oh,
okay? Because that's a lot of pages. We're just gonna
That
skim
would be
through
ridiculous.
a couple different pages.
Yeah, at
Especially-
least the 50 pages covers, more than one class. It's C1, C2, and C3, and I think maybe is there unlimited or something in there too?
No, class 1,
no.
2, and 3.
Yeah, just
One,
class
two,
One, two,
one,
and
two,
three.
three. But they do
With
show
pictures.
scoring. They do show scoring. It's not just classes. They teach you what scoring and what's a plus
Mm.
score and minus score. That does take a lot of the PDF, but not that much.
And for people that are interested in what the rules are, you have to read them 2 or 3 times to understand what they are saying.
Yeah,
And that's one paragraph.
Especially, well, the way the body is made and the way they do the cube thing. The picture on this one is, on this revision, is a heck of a lot better than the first one that they came out with.
yes.
The first one they came out with, man, was it ever confusing with that block. And they were saying squares and I was trying to understand and I couldn't. But this one it's a little bit clearer.
Hey, JD says, we want the full detail page by page, not Cliff Notes version.
Oh, you are gonna get the Cliff Notes, sorry.
That's a 0.1 and 0.2 stream.
Right.
If you want a complete detail, we'll do an after hour or maybe for subscribers, not subscribers. Yeah, I do have a subscriber thing. Maybe we can do a subscriber thing to do a stream just going through all the pages. Even myself, I haven't read the whole document. I read just a few points on it. And then because I didn't read it, when I got to the rules and the scoreboard, the score sheet, I kind of got confused. And then I went back to the PDF. So you do have to read it, just like Dennis was saying, read it. And once you're done reading it, read it again, because you've missed some stops. But that's only if you're going to go to an event that they say we stick to SORRCA rules. In this area, there's barely any. In your area, how many of them actually use all the SORRCA rules and the SORRCA score sheet?
There's almost none now.
Okay.
No, there's
Yes.
a lot of them that are ditching 2023 rules and going back to 2022 because they're more understandable. And they're easier to follow the guidelines, I would say.
Okay.
Where's the best place to look at the rules?
You can go right to the SORRCA page.
SORRCA page for website is down. It doesn't work anymore. You got to go on
Yeah.
Facebook to actually
You gotta
find it.
go on Facebook,
is
you
it
gotta
the
go on
Facebook page?
Facebook
Okay.
And there's a
and then
link
go
there.
to their files
Um,
and it's in there.
in the chat, do you want me to put it in the chat here in Zoom, or do you want me to put it in the chat, the link to the PDF? Nate, where do you want?
Zoom it.
Zoom? Okay, let me find it for you and I'll put it up for you.
Thank you.
Oh, we got Spin Rush with us. I was just showing your website, not your website, but your.
Oh, yeah. I was coming in to see the look on Brad's face. I wanted to see his reaction to it.
I've already watched it on another channel before you put it out, so.
So in other words, he says he's not going to watch yours since he's.
No, I never
not
said
impressed.
that, 'cause I want to hear.
Oh, well, that's what it sounded
I wanna
like.
hear
That's
it
what it
in English.
sounded like.
Well, Brad, I gave a special shout out to you. I called you out in the middle of the video, like, hey, I'm looking out for Brad here when I went to the Tamiya Pavilion.
There you go, Brad.
Well, I want to hear it in English anyways, because I don't know if you're, well, you can talk to Japanese to the guys that were there, but you know.
Oh, it was in
Okay.
English. How's everybody doing?
Good, how you
Good.
doing?
You?
Good.
Doing all right, doing all right. Yeah, it was a hell of a show this year. It was really good.
And just real quick, just want to comment on JD's post. Not a chance, JD. I'm not.
Hey, Robert.
What's up, Robert?
Oh, I need to find a shorter page, a shorter link. So I cannot put it on YouTube, the link, but I will put it into my chat underneath the description. I will put the link there because the link is too long for me to actually put it into the chat.
Rules are meant to be broken, vintage.
Yes,
Bent.
but you need a baseline. And I think there was a lot of people, and that's what we talked about on Brad's show on Tuesday, near the end, the last 30 minutes, I guess. Rules are made to be broken, or rules are made to be interpreted. How do you say that name in English?
Interpreted.
Yeah, interpreted.
Interpolated.
Yes.
Interpretation of rules. See cheating. Vintage.
Only cheating if you get caught.
Cheating. So they really went in details with the rules, I find, with this version in 2023, but I think they didn't have a choice because there's so many people that actually bends the rules. They try to bend the rules, or they try, and because of different classes. When you do on-road racing, like carpet racing, they do have some rules there, but it's more or less the electronics you're going to use and the motor that you're going to use, not about the car that you're going to use, or it has to be a pan car, or it has to be a certain type of chassis that you use in a certain body, certain tires. But SORRCA, I find, is way more evolved because you do have 3 classes, but you can do so much modification that it's easy to bring you in a different class. So you do have to be careful, especially the way you trim your body or you set your body on your truck. You could have a class 2 truck, but you really like the body or the setup of another truck, and you put that on yours, and all of a sudden you're in class 3. And you get to an event and you say, oh my God, like, why? I can't compete now. Right, Jem? And
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
And
go ahead.
the judging is so interpretive of the people that are reading the rules, the event you go to. Like we went to Jim's Hobbies, and they said the bumper on my truck and a couple other people's truck was illegal, but they were incorrect because they were looking at the rules from last year. Last year it said the bumper had to intersect the rim. This year it has to intersect the tire so that you could have more ground clearance. So I had specifically taken my truck from a droop setup to a sprung setup, which raised the bumper out of that rim to the tire.
Hey, crawl that.
And we had to like pull up the rules and show them like, no, it changed this year.
Okay.
And it was something that simple. It's that much of a difference.
Yeah, and you do have to be careful also on judges, especially the judges on the trail. We had a local comp here, and some guys were volunteering to be judges and things like that. And some judges, the person started the trail, he was like through gate 4 or something like that, and he did a very bad mistake, or he did a couple mistakes. He looks at the judge and says, oh man, can I start over? And the judge said, yeah, sure, go ahead.
What?
Sounds good.
That sounds good to me.
Let's
Let's
use
do it-
my
let's do it
mulligan.
over again.
That's competitive.
The mulligan. Yeah.
Like,
There's no warm-up runs. Sorry.
or can I try that gate again? Like, there was some scary story that I heard that some judges weren't even counting the same way, the gates, or counting the points the same way. Because there is
You always have video review.
Yeah.
That's right.
The That's a joke. Joe took a
Yeah.
video. Joe took a video of one of his runs, and somebody used it as an example without ever like, "Hey man, is it cool if I use this as an example?" So it was like, dude, if you want to use it as a learning experience, cool. Just ask, but
Or and market as such.
yeah. It'd be like me using one of your videos of the parking lot races, thinking like, look, these guys are hitting cones, they're doing it all wrong. You'd be like, you didn't even give me a shout out or ask.
Let's vote on it.
Yeah, let's vote. Let's see if you're allowed to hit these cones or you should have a time penalty.
Corey says, not sure if it's a rule this year. They had a rule that said the windshield had to be so wide compared to something, but the rule eliminated most ready to run bodies. No newcomers could have what they could bring.
Yes. On class 1, Corey, the bumper has to be wider than the windshield or equal to the width of the windshield. Now, class 2, you just have to have a bumper that sits outside the frame. So
it used to be for class 2, the bumper had to be no less than a 1/4 inch on each side of the frame rail and mounted to the outside. This year, as long as it's mounted to the outside, the bumper can end right at that mounting point. They've revised so many different things because there was too many gray areas.
Nate
a lot
wants to
of
know if
people
this is
finding them.
legal.
class 3, and he would get extra
Yeah.
points for the axles.
8-wheel drive.
I just found that on Amazon looking for just RC bodies that came up.
So yes,
Depends
it
on
will
if it's
be
motor on
class
axle.
3.
It's only
Motor on
$48.
axle, he would not be.
I'm not
I
sure.
think it
what
looks cool though, right?
That'd be a cool start for like a Dakar body too.
Not sure where the motor is on that one. That's for sure.
It looks like
Yeah.
it might be in each individual tire.
Which, if it is, then that's illegal. That's
Well, it's
against the
only-
rules.
It's only $48, so it can't be.
Yeah, might
Can't
not
be
be.
anything.
Oh, here is the biggest fan of SORRCA now.
What's up, fellas?
What's
Okay.
up, Eric?
Hey, how you doing, unknown? Okay, let's just I'll show you also the this is the rules and this is the score sheet. You guys see the score sheet?
Looks confusing.
Okay.
It's not too bad if you start, and just work your way down.
Yeah, but
Right.
I had 60 people at one of my event once. And if I do this for every truck, that many scaled points and that many thing, I'm going to be there for a while. Like,
Yep.
you need a lot of people to count the truck or to count the points.
Well, what a lot of events would
What's up,
have
JD?
them, they would have them on the Facebook or with the event page where you could download them and print them off, and then you would do your own checkout list, and then basically the inspector at the beginning would just kind of confirm that what you checked was official.
Okay. I see here hard body. So if you have a Lexan body, you do not get points for body.
Correct.
Correct.
And points, you get 4 points for the front rectangle. And we'll go through that in a little bit because this is where I find this is very stupid and very confusing and gives a lot of point to some people. You got a front rectangle, center rectangle, rear rectangle. Man, I'm center section, not rectangle. And you get 1 extra point for custom or extra. That's if you do custom work on hard body or if you
Like
make
a
it from scratch.
styrene.
Hey?
Like if you did styrene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Keith.
So if you
Yeah.
take a body from scratch and you build it out of styrene, you get extra points.
Yes.
What do they mean by installed?
They want to make sure that it's on the truck and then you run it the way it was judged on the course. So
Okay.
like if I had, this spare tire, or my spare tire sitting in the bed of my truck, and then I go out and run and I take it out, just you have a spare tire point for having it in the truck. If I take it out when I run, that means it's not installed.
So in other words, somebody could go through the inspection, they got the body, but they take the body off because now their center of gravity is going to be completely different.
Right. They took the hard body off and put a Lexane on it.
Yeah.
To go run. You can't do that. Whatever the way it's judged has to be the same as when you run on the course.
Vintage says, keep making more rules and see how the events keep growing in size. Many people think RC crawling is peaked and already is on the decline.
I would say at the beginning of the year, I agree that it was declining some, but through summer, when everybody said, F those rules, we're going to run something a lot simpler, it picked back up greatly. Like,
yeah, and anybody can change this with their own Excel sheet and just take and just pick some stuff off of it.
Like all of it?
No, some things make sense.
Yeah, some do. Some things do make sense, but all right, go all the way down to the second column, and it says scale accessories 14 max.
Yes, you have 14 points max. Yes.
All right, so say I have a cooler, 6-pack of beer, 6-pack of soda, and some printed ice cubes. That's more than 14.
Hey, Corey.
I don't think ice cube counts as 14 items. I think ice cube would be one, but even though you have 20 or 50 ice cube, that's one ice cube pack. In other words, that's how
ice.
Do they break
being-
down what counts as a scale accessory?
Exactly. What's the scale accessory?
Right there at the bottom, it says.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Accessory examples.
They don't like say
etc.
Because what you're saying here happened in 2022. They would print 10 ice cubes in a pack of soda and put it in the cooler, and they're like, there's my 16 scale points.
Exactly. If you print a cooler, ice cubes, soda, beer, all right, the cooler that's 2 right there, the cooler and the top of the cooler, or well, would it be, anyway. Then your 6-pack of beer is 1, your 6-pack of soda is 1, and all the ice cubes you have is 1.
Yeah.
Right.
So here they have trail tools. Trail tools is, let's say you have a box of tools and there's a bunch of wrenches in there, which you can buy from RC 4-wheel drive or anywhere. That counts as 1 point, and not, you don't get a point for every tool.
Right.
No, as long as the tools are different, it counts. Like if you have an axe, a shovel, a chainsaw, those are all different tools.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But like if you had a pack of wrenches, that would be a pack of wrenches.
That'd be
So,
1. But if I had a shovel, a pickaxe, a chainsaw, and a water jug, that'd be 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
In some pack of tools that you buy that I have in one of my car, I got like a screwdriver, a hammer, a wrench. Those were all, since they're all different.
Yep, they would be different.
Different.
But you have to be able to show them. Like, if you just say they're in there, it doesn't count. You have to be able to physically show them to the judge and leave them in the truck when you run.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really deep and interesting topic. I'm looking at some of the band list here that they have. They actually,
there's a lot of tires.
J Concept
band,
Ruptures,
there's a lot of
Prolex, Ibex, Chisels, Cougars and Leathers from Panther, HPI, Rock.
If we have
band
time,
list.
if we have time today, we'll do a truck. We'll take Jem's truck and we'll count the points to see how many.
It's 100 points. No.
I wouldn't doubt. Knowing Josh, probably.
It was at the last comp, it was 51 points, but since I'm probably not going to run this in a SORRCA class, it has been gutted. I took a pound off this truck of scale stuff.
Oh yeah.
which is a lot.
That's where it's,
That's a
I
lot.
find it's interesting in the sense that it's interesting that, okay, do I go for scale points? But the more scale point I had, my truck becomes heavier and it becomes whatever and might not perform as good. So, but if I keep it light, I'll do this faster. So I might do better than the guy that has more stuff.
Yep. It's all about
Guaranteed though, if you don't
Have
have
60
at
points.
least, if you don't have a lot of points, you're not going to win. Because I've went to a couple comps to where I didn't have the scale points. I didn't really care. I outdrove everybody and still didn't place because of the scale points.
Okay.
And I get that, I really do, but I mean, all right, if I am I'm a mediocre driver, but if I just rely on scale points and I know I'm a mediocre driver, I have a chance because I have all those scale items.
Yep. If you make a decent run and you have a pointed out truck,
You will
Guaranteed you're gonna be on top.
Joe shows up with his truck where most of his points are the chassis mounted servo, the transfer case, and he has like 10 scale points in the bed.
Yep.
This is
No
exactly
interior.
what was happening last year at the event I was hosting for GCM Racing.
See you, Soppers.
GCM Racing is about scale point and tiny trucks, and then they're class 0 and class 1. So their pointing structure was very high on the truck, not the driver. And we had some people coming with cappers. Can I bring my capper? Can I bring that? And that's when some people said, I'm going to outdrive everybody. That event was not about the driver, but about the truck.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people, I think, didn't know at the beginning. But near the end, everything was more equal, and a lot of people caught up.
Yeah, those scale point bonuses is just killer.
I've read both SORRCAs this year's and last year's, and what a difference.
Yeah, there is a big difference.
I've actually sat down.
Yeah, go ahead.
And they increased the points class.
The what point class?
They increased the points from last year to this year.
Okay.
Yep.
So they do go through about what is it, how does it work, the change frequencies that they do. There's a bunch of stuff. This link will be in the description of the video once I finish this stream. I will put it there. It's not there right now. Sorry about that, but it will be in the description. General description of class 1 requires a full rail or pan chassis setup. Class 2 requires full rail. This is where it's kind of weird, because class 2 and class 3 are exactly the same, except this has tube chassis. So it's either rails or tube chassis, because the way I read this, it has to have both.
No motor on axle.
Oh,
Yeah, so you either have a rail truck or you have a Capra.
Yeah.
Like the tube chassis is a Capra, RC Speedy.
But this is where I find that this is not written well.
Yeah, well, no, it's written right because it says it requires a full rail, truggy back, tube chassis, or pan chassis setup. I mean, that tells me I can choose one of those 4 to run in class 3.
Correct.
Right. But no motor on axle in any class.
Yeah, the way I read it, the way I think it should be read, it says it requires a full rail or a truggy back or a tube chassis or a pan chassis.
Or it could just say it requires one of the following.
Yeah. That's the only thing I would change on that, because the way I see this is you require a full rail, a truggy back, a tube chassis, or a chassis setup.
Well, I guess technically, if you're going to look at it that way, if you're running in a class 3, if you want to mix all 3 of those together, you can.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time doing that because that's going to run like a brick.
Right. Do a front half, mid half, and a rear half.
And I completely understand this, and I've been telling this to a lot of people. Motor on axle are not allowed. That's because like the Bully 2 I just picked up, that thing is a beast. That thing will out climb any truck that's on the trails, if you know how to drive it.
SORRCA should start a box stock class for ready to run crawlers, vintage.
Frank, are you gonna set that up to do a bias with a front motor versus a rear motor, like an overdrive front? You can, that's something I think I've been seeing people do with those motor on axle setups.
On my Bully 2, I don't think I'll change a lot of it. I'll see what I do. The only thing I'm thinking of doing is 4-wheel steering on it for now.
Yeah, because I just noticed you'll get a lot of understeer with the same rate from the front and rear tires.
Probably.
Yeah.
I am not.
Here's what I
counting-
understand when it comes to SORRCA. Let's compare two RC sports with rules. You have SORRCA and you have NPRC. I mean, you go stock class, that's all you can have is a stock. That's it. And I get Vintage's point with SORRCA should start a box stock class for RTR. I think they should too, because if I were to take any of my Red Cats or what's the other one I had? And my Fair RC, that automatically takes me out of almost every class. I got to be in like class 3 because either my bumper's not right, my tires are too big, and I bought that right off the shelf. So if I want to compete, that means I got to spend more money to undo what the manufacturer has already done.
Which a lot of people do that just to run class 2.
The first thing people do, they change the tires. The first thing people do, they change the servo.
Well, the first thing a person does is buy an RTR to learn how to crawl.
I completely agree. But those people are not going to go to a comp. And if they do go to a comp, yeah, that's when they're going to realize, oh, I can't compete because of X, Y, Z. Yes,
Or they go non-SORRCA.
Or they go to a comp that's non-SORRCA, which I've done lots of them. And it's just a fun day, or it's just a go on the trail. We'll count how many times you flip or how many times you touch your hand. I call this event a no hands of God event, which means let's play with winches and tow ropes and you can't touch your car.
Yeah, we do that a lot here too. We don't use SORRCA for toilet paper.
Yeah, I completely understand. It's
Yeah.
been passed.
I'm that person that's got to ask because nobody's going to ask the weird, the dumb, the crazy questions. I'm just saying, if I'm a guy, I say, well, I want to get in. All right, perfect example. We go to a SORRCA event and say somebody somebody steals their comp crawler, or somebody's out there selling RTRs. But I prepared for this comp. Now I can't do the comp because I'm at an RTR and I can't go in that class. That's what I'm getting at. If I want to compete in a comp class and something happens to one of my trucks, I should be able to use whatever I buy off the shelf and use.
You can if it fits within a class. You might be bumped down to class 1, or unless you change your tires, because most ready to run cars come with bigger tires, like the Gen 8. Tires on that puts you in class 2, but the body and the rest of the truck is actually a class 1.
I don't think you're getting one. I don't think you understand.
No, I'm getting what you're saying. Is you're saying that when you go to a comp, you should be able to enter a truck that's ready to run. But the problem is
there should be put it this way, there should be a ready to run class. Let's put it that way.
Okay, but some ready to run trucks are so much different that you can't compete against somebody else's ready to run. You still want to compete with them?
Then that's not the truck, that's the driver.
No, okay, I take a ready to run Capra and I take a ready to run Red Cat. Which one's going to do better? They're both ready to run, no change. Do you want to be in the same class as a Capra with your Gen 8?
I take the Gen 8 over Capra any day.
Yeah, but if you've driven a Capra, you know that
I have driven a Capra. If I'm going to a SORRCA competition and I'm doing a crawl, I'm not taking the Capra because I don't have this anyway.
That's the big thing, the big word, the big thing you said in your sentence. If I'm going to a SORRCA competition,
There needs to be an RT.
you are not going to bring it ready to run. You are not bringing it ready to run to a SORRCA competition. Should you be able to bring one? No, because you got to follow the rules.
That's why nobody likes SORRCA. That's why SORRCA can't even make up their own damn mind on what rules they want to use.
It changes every year.
Exactly. Why does it have to change every year? Because people are. There's nothing really changing though, because you're telling me that, like Josh said, you mean to tell me from last year to this year, it matters just because a 16th of an inch of my bumper? Get the fuck out of here.
They changed the rules. I think I'll be a devil's advocate here. They changed the rules because there's people out there that likes to try to bend the rules to their favor. So now they clarify the rules, or they change it. They word it a different way, or they say it a different ways, so that people either understands it better, which makes it more difficult sometimes because the rules become longer. So to me, it's because people not cheat, but they try to bend the rules, and that's why they come out with more rules to get those guys to shut up. Or
brings up a good point. He says RTR trucks barely fit class 3, but never compared to anything else running in class 3. That's a very true statement.
JD has a question. He says, are the members of SORRCA, who are they? Are they in the industry or just hobbyists? What I have seen from the people that are on the SORRCA committee, they are hobbyists, because like when Axial came out with the SCX10 Pro, they released the rules and basically outlawed the body because it was 4 inches instead of 4.5 inches. But they're hobbyists. They try to make a set of rules. They've ran into issues at comps and tried to adjust the rules for the issues they ran into. Like we talked about Tuesday, someone rolling through a gate and it counting because the truck slid on its roof through the gate instead of progressing a grate on its tires. And they're like, well, I can just make my truck roll over, go too fast, slam the brake and roll it through a gate. And it's now narrower because it's sliding on its roof and it's not going to hit the gates. This was their argument. So they're hobbyists. They're not industry people. But like I mentioned Tuesday, they didn't even run an event this year. SORRCA did not run its own event. So it's kind of BS to change all the rules and then go, here, you guys use these, but we're not going to do anything with them.
I got you.
When they first came up with these rule sets, there was a video of 3 out of the 5 guys that are on the committee. 1 out of the whole committee actually comps.
Yes.
And they're telling you basically you have to build a dollhouse truck and not be afraid to scratch it or break something to be SORRCA legal. Well, you're not going to build a dollhouse truck like my cross trucks. Can I run them in a SORRCA event? Yes. Are they legal? No, because the tires stick out too far. They're too tall, but it points out. My one truck is a full body, full 3D interior, lights, all that. Divorce transfer case, chassis mounted servo, the whole 9.
What they need to do to
I can't run it because the bumper's not wide enough.
Oh, not you.
The tires aren't right. And it's a load of shit that the way that non-comp guys are trying to develop rules for the comp world.
Okay, but somebody has to make up rules for these.
But if you don't comp, you shouldn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, but who's going to make the rules?
People that comp should be making the rules.
And how come they're not?
But true. I agree with both you and Tank. But the thing of it is, here's what you should do. If you want to make a set of rules, every class should have a template. And if you're out of that template, just like you're going through an inspection, if you don't have this, then this is what class you are. If you have this, and this, and it's outside of that template, then you're in this class, and so on and so forth. It would make things so
That's-
much easier.
That's what they attempted to do poorly with the rec.
Yes, and let's have a look at that real quick. The template or the square that that we're talking about. So we'll just gonna go to the
Oh, the
Page, which
rectangle
is-
diagram.
It's
Yeah.
farther down. So here's a diagram of a class 1.
I'm sorry. Let me
I-
read this.
I like
No,
the
it's
fact
ridiculous.
I like the fact that now they've changed the colors and things like that. It is just shaded, but that's the first square, the front square, center square, and the rear square. So there is some different stuff for this, but this is where your body should be. To me, this is completely different than last year. The body last year used to be right over the rear well here. Like you could not see barely any thread on class 1. You could only see half of the thread for being a class 1.
Yep.
This changes a lot, like for class 1. Here's the front of it, but you can see here the Lexan body or the hard body comes out a little bit. But if you want to be legal, it has to be just on the end, just barely touching the inside
Yep.
of the tire.
Which you had to cover half the tire last year.
Yes.
What vehicle does everybody run and their shortcut competition, and what class do you operate in? No name.
Well, that's the biggest thing, and I've been saying this for years. Before you go to an event, find out which rules they're running and find out what the rules are, and build a truck for that event.
That's what you gotta do.
And that's what you should do when you go to an event. Don't just bring a Capra and say, "Here, I want to compete with this," or your comp truck that you've built, and what class do I fall into? And then they'll tell you which class. But
Because that's kind of a backwards way to do it. Just show up with what you have and then you get put somewhere. Right.
know the competition you're going at, and that's why here it's been asked for SORRCA to be more SORRCA rules, to have some comps at Fraggle Rock. He tried last year. It was starting to be not bad, but once he changed the rules for this year, like they didn't even do an event this year because to them it kind of blew their mind the way they changed the rules.
Are you active?
So it's when you go to an event, find out what the rules are. To tell you the truth, 90% of the events, or an even higher number than this, is going to have a version of SORRCA in there, which is what people call a SORRCA light.
Yes.
So they might have just the tires, they might have some of the bodies, the tire size, the bodies, and a couple things, motor on axle, motor on axle, or they might not allow you to on class 2 a dig or 4-wheel steering. Me on my events on class 2, I don't give a hoot if you have a dig. For 4-wheel steering, I do, but on class 2 for my event, yeah, you want to put a dig on your for class 2, go right ahead. But that's different people, different strokes.
One of the big things SORRCA did this year that they didn't like for some reason, where Vanquish came out with the VFD twin, where you could switch from your overdrive ratios. They outlawed switchable overdrive.
Really?
Yeah. It has to be locked in one or the other.
And that's in class 2 or class 3 or any?
Any.
That's weird.
Which I don't understand why on class 3, if you can run dig and four-wheel steer, why can't you change your overdrive?
Yes, I completely agree. And that's why I find people that run the event should be able to change the rules, or just, yeah, we're going
And
to
they
run
can't.
SORRCA rules, but exception of you can do this or you can't do that.
Because what's funny is, let's say if you did it like the Nationals, then you would have to qualify at a state level with SORRCA rules.
Yes.
Well, that's not how they did their national event. It
Uh-huh.
was, hey, we're opening the event. You better register in the first 5 minutes or we're going to be sold out. So you had somebody you had Eric with his red cat out there climbing next to Joe with his full truck because Eric bought a ticket in time. And it's like, that makes no sense if you're going to make all these rules and make this a national event.
Dorcas.
Yeah. If you're going to run all these rules, but then you're just going to go, hey, first come, first serve on who signs up. No, make it a qualifier and then have so many open slots. If you're going to be so strict on what you do.
Right.
You know, you can't.
Maybe Sunday.
Yeah,
Or
doing-
take it back to like a high school or college level to where, you know, you've got to win so many local comps to essentially be able to go to a championship or a world event.
Right. Or run a point series, NPRC. If you're going to go to be the best of the best in NPRC, you got to run the point series to get invited to go to the nationals. You got to be top 5 of your area.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
but they don't have that in crawling national,
Yeah.
whatever. They don't have that.
Well, they
Yeah.
need
Whoever signs up first. We're opening the sign up on this day, and your PayPal better go through quick and your internet better not lag. The nationals, not, you know, this year, but last year sold out in class 2 in 5 minutes.
because wasn't
On
that the
TGH.
ones- Wasn't
What's that?
Harley and them two, weren't they doing a bill for the Nationals last year?
Yes.
They did one last year and this year. This year they ran at TGH's event in Colorado since they didn't have a nationals. And TGH's servers crashed. So many people tried to sign up because no one's running events like that, where you get all the sponsors to come and all the vendors and have a huge national event. There's like 2 people doing it. That's why, heck, the Gauntlet had 500 people there, 492 registered drivers, plus the other people.
Dirk, stupid. Wait, hold on, let me see the screen. Oh, yeah,
From the chat.
sorry.
Yeah, the simple rules one, Corey, is what we're all, like me, Dennis, Joe, everyone's kind of switching to is simple rules. Show up and have fun.
Yep.
Right. They just take a handful of what they're calling legal rules and implement them into their non-scale, which is tire size, bumper. You have to have a bumper. Doesn't matter how wide or how narrow it is. And class 2, you're not allowed to use a winch unless they state that you can use it. I mean, they made it so it's more enjoyable, more fun, and you're not destroying your truck.
Mhm.
Like on ours, we can use a winch in all classes, but after you get class 2, we go by tire size for each class. If you got 2 2s, you're automatically in class 2. That's just a given. But if you're using a winch, you cannot also use a tow rope. You see what I'm saying? Like you either have one or
Right.
the other. You can have both. But I mean, usually everybody has a winch. You know, we just go out and have fun. It's like, all right, who can get over this the fastest and who can go the furthest? That's about how we do it all day long.
So what do you do with 4.75 stretched on 2.2?
If you have if you have a 1.9, you're basically in class 1. If you have a 2.2 stretched over a 1.9, you're still in 2.2 because you still use a 2.2 tire, even if it's on a 1.9 rim.
It's
And
a
that's why I
2.2
don't.
rim, the
Yeah.
1.9 tire.
Oh, you're talking about the other way.
Yes,
If it's a
stretching.
1.9, I
Yep,
got
a
you.
1.9 tire is going to
On
be
a
a
2.2
4.7. Yep.
You're gonna be on 2.2.
Outside diameter is still the same.
That's why I don't agree in a lot of the tire rules when they start saying.
That's why we don't
if
have
you
tire
have two-
rules.
Yeah, if you have 2.2 rims, you can't be in class 2 because the tires are too big. Bull crap. because you can get 1.9 tires that are actually bigger than the 2.2.
Yeah, I do. I have some of those that are 1.9 tires that are a lot bigger than 2.2.
And this
Right.
year
The
they switched
sidewall's
it,
going to be
Tank.
bigger.
And they switched it, Tank. It's no longer the rim. It's the outer diameter of the tire cannot be more than 4.75.
Why do you stretch a 1.9 tire on a 2.2 wheel?
Sidewall.
Sidewall.
Sidewall and
What, a lower sidewall?
Yeah,
Sidewalk.
lower sidewall.
So it's more stable.
Yes.
yeah, it's stiffens the
And you have a
sidewall,
wider contact patch.
and it
Okay,
also
there
gives
you go.
you a hair bit more of clearance.
I've actually done that on my drag car. I have put a 1.9 tire on a 2.2 rim. And let me tell you,
And JD, yes,
Worked pretty
you
good.
could have go compete at nationals and won it on your first and last comp and been the national champ if you were good enough. Just one and done.
Okay, who just said you get more clearance with a 2.2 rim on 1.9 tires?
He means
Oh.
for the portal,
It gives you
for
a-
your portals and the inside,
hair
like
more
if you're running
clearance.
grass.
You could put weights,
Right.
more
Yeah,
weight.
but your outer diameter is still your outer diameter. Your
we're not talking
center
about the
point
outer
of the
diameter. We're
tire-
talking about going into the adding
gives
weight
you
to
more
the tire.
clearance on your axle.
Yeah, the inner
Width.
diameter. gives
Yeah,
you
the
more
inner
wiggle room.
diameter here. When you try to go over the portal, you can run a 2.2 sucked in because it's that much bigger and it fits over your portal better.
Okay,
Yeah.
A-
more clearance
AKA
in
You're
the
not putting
portal.
space.
Yeah,
You're not
in
putting
the-
a
on the
wider
portal
hex
inside.
on.
Okay, I thought you meant more clearance under the pumpkin of your
No.
car.
Oh, no.
No.
We're
No,
talking
because
about
your
the portal.
your overall diameter is never going to change.
width.
No.
He was referencing the width. So you
Okay.
can have a shorter width because a 2.2 allows you to tuck it in over a portal.
Just so your pivot point can get closer to your wheel.
And since gates are only 12 inches wide in class 2, you want to be able to suck your tires in to have more clearance to fit through a gate.
Ah,
That way you're not rubbing the fuzz on tennis balls.
Right.
Oh my God, let's
Unless you want to. Some people might want to.
I do a lot.
I made my promise. I went to 2 events this year that had tennis balls. I went over there and burned all the fuzz on each and every one of them damn things. That was like, what are you doing? Y'all counting the fuzz? Y'all counting the hit, right? The fuzz, burn it off.
Because they could like the little fuzz could grab your tire and move
Yep.
the gate.
Yep.
Ah,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they count that. If you touch
That's
the
a
fuzz,
hit.
That's a hit.
If it moves, you're done.
So new tennis balls are the enemy.
Yes.
Fire.
JD's asking me to calm down.
Here, right here, Nate. You see that as an
I
example?
do.
Okay, now
I did see that.
the other side of the truck, the gate is that far away also.
And
That's
that's
a 12-inch wide gate. My truck
Okay.
is 9 1/4 wide.
12-inch wide gate.
For class 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Class 3 is what? 15?
Or
15
14
inches?
to 6,
14.
14 or 16. Yeah.
I'm lazy. At my event, I put the gates for gate 3 and I run 2 and 3 in there. So I just say the gate, the people with the class 2, have fun, like go
And
faster.
if it's a tough place, I don't care if it's a 16-inch gate or a 12-inch gate, you're gonna have struggle.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the width of the gate. I think it's the placement of the gate itself.
Yep. Placement
Because-
is everything.
Because you can have, oh, that's a wide gate. Oh, no, it's not. How am I going to get on that? How am I going to get to that gate going on that angle? You know, it's like, oh.
Yeah, not when you're going through sideways, yeah.
Yeah. Or you get the front end and the rear's going, nope.
That's when dig comes in handy.
Bruno says his G speed is like 11 inch. LOL.
You better
Right.
take them spacers off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
so
why
so if you're gonna be narrow, you can't if you try to run big tires on a narrow vehicle, you're gonna run into clearance issues, right?
Right.
You'll rub the tire on the inside of the chassis.
Yeah.
Yep.
You won't be able to turn full lock when you're
Right.
articulating.
Your inside of your tire will catch your steering knuckles and tear. And
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that like running the super wide deep dish wheels because
Oh,
it looks cool but it's a disadvantage.
Because it looks cool, don't mean it's gonna work well.
Right.
That's like I put Hummer wheels on my Dodge Ram, and I had to run wheel spacers to get them back out because they got a ton of backspacing.
Right.
Now, this is where I found on the first version, it didn't make sense because they only had the square, but you can see the body of the Lexan here on top of it, or the hard body, the line of the truck. So to me, it makes more sense now that they've actually put the truck there in there. Front bumper, this is where the location, it has to be just in front of the bumper of the tire.
Mhm.
Right. And it
That's
can't be
fine.
any taller than the rim.
The tire now.
Yeah,
It's the
the
tire
Right.
now.
The bumper cannot go past the top of the rim.
Oh,
Bumper has to sit
You
in
mean
a
downward?
static ride
Which way?
position. The bumper cannot be any higher than the top of the rim.
tire. They changed it
Oh,
this
that's
year.
some
didn't
bullshit.
front bumper must extend beyond the body and tires. So that's in the front. It needs to extend
It's in the back too.
outward, not
It has
up.
to extend past the tire, but can't go any higher than the top of the wheel itself.
Where does it say the wheel information?
It
Exactly. It
doesn't
doesn't say
that
that
for the
anywhere.
wheel. It shows a picture here going
It just
up.
has to be in front.
Yeah, it's in front of the body and the tire. It doesn't talk about the height of the
So-
bumper, how high your bumper has to be.
Can it be like even, or
You
just
could
has
just
to?
have a tube bumper, just a tube going all the way around. Even though it's only a tube, it's not that high. Like,
So obviously, the closer to the wheel, the better for approach angle.
Correct.
So can you make it what's in front of must extend beyond? So it can't be flush, it has to be beyond. How much
So the
beyond?
way they
A
address it,
millimeter?
Yeah,
Hold
that's
on.
it's still
As long as
beyond.
it's beyond the
if it's
body
not
of the
aligned with
tube.
the tire, it's beyond it.
yeah, hold on. The way they address it, and it's hard to see because the way the zoom is, it says the rectangle must be, the body must extend at least half an inch above the tops of the tires at full compression. The length must be, so they're not saying bumper, they're calling it a rectangle.
Well, that's
yeah,
the green
this
thing.
rectangle here, yes.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
body.
And but rectangle isn't the body, it's that section, which includes the bumper, the fenders, everything in that
No,
section.
the bumper is actually here in this section. The front rectangle is that
Right.
that green one here.
It's the panel.
But within the rules, I think it's on the front, when they show the front rectangle or the rear rectangle, it says about where the bumper has to cross.
Oh, there it is
This is
right
going
there.
to take a long time to digest.
No
Yes.
kidding.
It does.
Go down one tank. Not the top view, the front view.
Front. Right there.
Front and rear bumper.
It's the yellow side.
Yeah.
Read the yellow stuff.
On this side.
Oh, I can't see it.
Yeah, zoom in
because
there.
of-
Must have materials for has the front inside front track with the top. Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's
Corey.
not.
Now, see,
Here
they're
they're
not
saying the
putting in-
required position of the bumper must meet the above specification.
So there's two different criteria.
So
like
above
sections.
it, above the rectangle, there is a bumper section. And within the rules that will state specifically what the specifications are besides.
Right now, this is class
Rules
one.
for prima donnas.
That is class one.
Sean.
Yeah,
See, class two, they change the way that the bumper has to be.
Yes.
right.
Madonna.
So this is class two.
Yeah, Sean don't like SORRCA, whatever rules.
Orca.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, next week is all about SCX 24s.
Guru.
And here's the front of it.
some too.
Oh shit! What you do? What you do?
And that's what you were saying, the not the ecto, which body that was actually
Yeah, the
narrow?
ecto.
Yeah,
The ecto was narrower than the tire.
The tires.
so that's class 2. You can see the body, how big it is, and here's the bed. It has to be fit within that.
Yeah, none of my rigs will fit in class 1 or 2. All mine class 3.
And here's the other box that shows where the center is, the overall height. Hey, look how tucked in that bumper is compared to the other one. Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, them tires just go right up over everything.
Yep. And let's go down to class 3 real quick. And class 3 is like, wow.
Oh, class.
Not even a bumper.
That's class 2 still.
No, that's class 3.
This is class 3. And
That's
Oh,
more
my God.
like
Oh,
your
never
new
mind.
rock crawler, right, Tank?
I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. Why is
What's the name of your new rock crawler, Tank? The
Bully 2.
Bully
But
2.
Bully.
That's like that one.
It can't because it's motor on axle. It's completely
Oh,
different.
okay. Other than motor on axle, but I mean the tires and shit, how they
Yeah,
stick
it
out.
looks like a comp crawler, but it's not.
Yeah.
my what do you call it? Belly dragger is definitely class 3.
Yeah, I just said it's.
See, that's what I want to try to get a class 3. Sorry, Tank. Go ahead.
I just said that's not a comp crawler. It is a comp crawler for that class, a class 3 SORRCA rule.
Right.
So it is a comp for that comp.
Right.
But for the pro, like the other class, that motor on axle, that's a completely different thing because you should see the beast and the amount of money you can throw on those truck. It's way more.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
Class. If I had the money, and I can build a class 3, and oh man. But see, that's another thing. I don't have the money. That's why I just take parts. There's a lot of all my RC car. Since I've been here, since I got back into the hobby, I've bought only 3 RC cars. Everything else is from related parts and other parts like that. So that's why I build how I build all my rigs.
Earlier, Eric, you were talking about, bringing RTRs to these comps. And then, of course, you mentioned that, all right, they're not going to allow the RTRs, but these companies, I mean, when we go out, for example, with racing and indoor buggies, outdoor buggies, when we buy motors and gears and stuff, it tells you right there, this is ROAR approved or if approved.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay, so I was just wondering, it's like, why haven't they just like take an RTR and say, right there on the box, this chassis is SORRCA approved? Like
that's another issue. Exactly what you're saying.
Too much.
It changes too much because ROAR says this is a rule, this is what you got to have, and it's set in stone. Whereas SORRCA just keeps changing it. Like Axial put out the SCX10 Pro, and if it comes with body mounts and everything set up, because they had a body for it that was 4 inches tall. 2022 to 2023, they raised it half an inch that your body has to be 4.5 inches tall. So they didn't include the body because they didn't want people to think it was legal for SORRCA. You can buy that body separate for outlaw comps or whatever, but they didn't include it because they knew it wasn't going to fit the rules.
Is there how much money is involved? How much money can you win in a crawling competition, like a professional level one?
Oh shit! It's not
Nationals was not that much. It was what, a couple $100, Dennis?
Yes. So
If
that's
that,
why.
yeah.
No one's going to get serious about making the classes.
Yeah,
and
it's
making the
not
vehicles for the
NPRC.
classes.
It's not NPRC where you got a $10,000 Vegas race or $25,000 Vegas race, whatever it was.
Hell, I just raced this last weekend and won $1,500.
Right.
I came in 4th place.
What
Yeah,
were you
but that's
racing?
drag racing.
Drag racing.
That's what I'm saying though, but I'm drag racing and I won like. I
People
forgot
have the
what it
same
was.
money and need as they do those drag cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is not a talking money stream.
No, but he's just
Hey.
asking how much you win.
Yeah, I know.
You don't make a
I
lot.
Yeah.
But where you do get, well, supposedly, I'm just paraphrasing. If you have a sponsor, you're good because you can get all this stuff and part. No, you don't get nothing. The sponsors want you to wear their hat, wear their shirt. But if you want to use their gear, as in like RC stuff, you got to pay for it. And you don't get a big discount. What the hell is 10%? If I'm wearing your stuff already, what's 10% going to do me? If I'm repping your stuff, I should be getting that stuff
Yes, sir.
deeply discounted.
Since
And
RuPaul's
I
been
think-
quiet, Eric has picked up that. Yeah,
I think it's good if you won $1,500. I mean, at least it's a decent amount of money for such a hobby.
I did one cash comp this year and made $60.
But then again, when you want to make that money, you got to put up the money because I put up 150.
yeah. They
And that's
increased
not-
the entry fee to get a bigger payout.
Yeah, and plus I had 2 cars, so that went up to 200. But then again, I knew what to expect. I mean, you can't go into drag racing without any money.
Yeah, but you won $1,500 on drag racing. We're talking about drag racing with RCs, not dressing up as a girl and winning $1,500.
Hey, I made money. How much money did you make?
And that's what Psycho 13 Garage is talking
Yeah,
about.
well, he's no, they don't want man. You want to put a heel on this foot?
That'd be something.
Shit, I don't think they have make a cow that big.
The biggest thing when these guys go to the comps is bragging rights and
Yep.
piece of hardware. And to be competitive, if you're not spending $400 on a set of axles, $150 on a transmission, $300 on electronics, and by the time you're done, you have 15 to 1800 just in the truck before it hits the rocks, you're not going to be competitive.
No.
Right.
Nope.
That's right.
Bruno says, I won $20 once at Parking Lot Wars.
Every little bit helps.
Now that's because we only have 8 racers and your
Yeah, that
entry fee is
helps.
only $10. So let me tell you, the jackpot is not a lot.
Oh, is that your event, Tank?
Yeah,
A lot of things. A lot of
when you
things
got to
just
give
to get out.
1, 2, and 3.
But it
You better-
sounds like a lot of fun.
Sounds like you need to sell that up, get some more people in there.
Oh yeah, we need more people to give better prizes and things like that. Next year, hopefully next year we'll have more people. And
Hopefully
maybe
you'll
if I
have
change the rules, like maybe if I use SORRCA rules for racing, maybe it's gonna work.
You'll
better.
lose people.
Can't use SORRCA rules for racing. That's a whole nother set of rules.
No, but we keep it like Unknown is saying, keep it stock, and that's my biggest thing. Keep it stock. I've been allowing Tamiya to come in, but modified Tamiya because stock Tamiya cannot compete with the Kyosho. It has to be upgraded and
Yes,
with
it
different pinions and things like that to actually compete to be the same speed as the Kyoshos.
Yeah, those kill shows. Ooh. Coming with the hardware next year.
So Tank, I dumped it in the chat. So not only did you have the rectangle, now there's a second area you look at for the rules. That's the rules for class 1's bumper. Not in the YouTube chat, but the Zoom chat. And that's what I said about Dennis. They changed it this year. It's the tire now, not the rim.
Well, then, because the original was at
Yes, the original was
at the
rim.
beginning of the year, and then they changed it in the middle again.
They changed it in February because it was December, it was rim. February, it was tire. That's when I changed the shocks on this truck.
And at what page did you see that? Because it's
hold on.
probably on the where it says class 1.
13, page 13, where it says bumpers. And that's for class 1, correct?
Where does it talk about bumpers?
It goes front rectangle, chassis, steering, body, regular bed, flatbed, windshield, then bumpers. So keep going down.
Well, you said page 13. This is here, page 13.
You might have
That
to
was
go
13 on the one I was looking at. Keep
Oh,
going down.
okay. Chassis, steering, body requirement.
Keep going down. Go to windshield, then bumpers. Right there.
There you go. And there's more.
Oh my God, are you
Yeah.
serious?
So this is a whole nother
All about
section
this
on
section.
top of the rectangle that says about bumpers.
I skipped this section because I got frustrated with this section.
There's so
Mhm.
many different things for this.
That's
Yeah.
why I got it, because it makes no sense.
And it changes where it was at static. And the newer version, which I sent you, Tank, is that compression. The one TJ posted is the December version.
That PDF file, you mean?
Yeah.
But here's another thing, talking about full compression. Not everybody's truck is used at full compression.
But
I
that's where they want to
understand, but
measure it.
when you tech in your truck, they are going to push.
Yeah,
on-
I understand. I understand that they're gonna measure everything down, putting pressure. But what I'm saying is, I know maybe I think 2 of my trucks only do full compression. That's my belly dragger and my what is that? Oh, my other truck that I'm making. But everything else, I'm not getting full compression. I gotta add like 10 pounds.
That's exactly why I changed this truck. It was at full droop, so it would stay with that tire up close to the bumper, which hurts your approach angle. I changed it to sprung, so when you push down on it, the bumper is equal as the tire, but you let up, the truck comes back up.
Right.
So now I have a better approach angle to try and get under that bumper.
What it sounds like to me is a bunch of old entitled, I know they're men, but it sounds like old entitled women sitting there drinking tea, just throwing around a bunch of ideas, so it makes everybody happy, everybody else.
Oh, it's a mess.
It's a train wreck, that's what it is.
Vintage RC says they need a 2-hour-long driver meeting to go over the SORRCA rules.
Hey, Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
Clarify it, yeah, probably.
Yeah, you'd have to start checking people in at 7 o'clock in the morning to run an 11 o'clock comp.
Yeah, right.
And that's only if you have 5 people show up.
Right, yeah. And then
Some
they
of the-
frown at you when you hand them the paper and you didn't do none of your scale points.
Yeah.
some of the events I did, I really tried to do like a class 1, class 2, and class 3. But everybody with trucks that they came in always ended up being more class 2. And
I thought, Mitchell, no, we're talking about crawlers, Mitchell, not speed cars.
He's still probably doing speed runs.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably up to $1.30.
stock Tamiya here. Yes, they are slow when you compare it stock Tamiya to a Kyosho.
Let's
And
see,
then- and-
when
and-
we also
and-
talk about, I'm sorry, Tank, go ahead.
And Brad cannot tell me I'm wrong with that statement, right, Brad?
The M chassis are faster, but they're still not as fast as the Kyoshos.
That's correct.
Now, when you do scale points, there's the 2 sections where you have functional and non-functional scale points.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand what a functional scale point is, which could be a sand ladder, a high lift jack.
And they changed that again this year, Dennis. It's now just 14 scale points.
Right, and they keep changing it, and that's
Yep.
what's deterring everybody,
Stinky colas.
especially people that have ran SORRCA for the last few years to ever want to do it again.
So
I think
That
Kurt,
almost, yeah, that just sounds like not really serious competition style points system.
And like Super Shafty is one of the biggest competitions coming up. It was
AGM.
probably second to the Colorado one. They're running the Worlds and SORRCA in 2 different classes.
Yeah.
So to make the SORRCA people happy, they're running SORRCA. To make people that run more performance-based trucks, they're running the Worlds, which is a total different rule set. It's a mess. It has turned into a mess.
That's absolutely hilarious.
that's why I love drag racing, because when you go to tech, you take your car, you take your battery, you take it and then measure it as you were going to run it right then and there. You have all that stuff. And if you break any of the rules, you're DQ. There's no questions asked. You're out.
Right.
I mean,
If you have 8.46 volts instead of 8.44, you're out.
well, we had a guy that had over voltage, just DQ. His money's gone.
There's a dude in Vegas that was in the top 4 running for $25,000 in drag racing, and his battery had sat in the sun.
Oh,
It was 8.46 volts instead of 8.44, and they DQ'd.
I would have put that bad boy in a cooler.
Well, he didn't. When he checked it, it was fine, but they had a delay. His battery was sitting out.
Damn.
The sun had moved on the canopy. It was like it was the perfect storm to make his battery increase voltage.
That's why I always keep all my batteries now in a LiPo bag, and then I put that LiPo bag in the old one of those old coolers that go back and forth, lunchbox coolers, the red and white ones. I keep it in that, and I've never had a problem. I keep it constant because
But that's straying off from Tank's topic.
Yeah.
Got a new guy there, the Stinky Cola.
Yeah,
Thank
Stinky
you very
Cola's
much.
new.
Will come in. Pardon me, Brad?
I said he's new.
Yeah, he's new. He found
it's
us.
not bullshit, because you got people that'll try to cheat and try to get that little extra tenth of a volt. That's why it goes like that. It is. See,
I don't think there's any. Is there any voltage regulation for batteries that you use in SORRCA?
No, you can run 2 to 4S or whatever it'll take.
Okay. And there's no motor limitation. It's just about the truck and the way the look of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
No
you
limitation
can't
on
get
electronics.
some of them could be brushed or brushless, I think. Isn't it?
No,
Or am I just
not for SORRCA.
There's
That
no
was,
per class electronics.
That was when we were at Country Junction stock. You had to run a brushed motor.
yeah.
And there is no weight limitation. You could be 3 pounds or
That's
you
light.
could be 10 pounds.
Yep.
They don't care.
Mhm.
And that's what they were saying. Dennis was saying about building dollhouse trucks. They just want your shit to look a certain way.
Right. They're telling you how to build your truck. They don't care how it performs. They want you to build a certain type of truck.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like SORRCA rules in a way. It's because they want everybody's truck to meet this cookie mold, but everybody builds differently. And that's why where I think the most important for these rules should be just the tire size and your approach angle more than anything. Where the bumper is and the body, like class 1 and class 2, just like it used to be. To me,
Stinky
that
Cola, that
makes
does
sense.
suck.
Pardon me?
I was talking to Stinky Cola, sorry.
Oh. So
Did you ask him to want to come in, Frank? You should tell him how he wants to come on the panel.
I'm just kind of translating everything that's being said in my mind, and it just comes out like, sorry, sir, we have a dress code here. There are no flip-flops, no jeans allowed.
All right. Now,
Yeah.
you've seen
Exactly.
You've seen
Exactly.
Josh's truck that was built for SORRCA. This is a non-SORRCA truck. There's no way that this will pass tech.
and why not?
Where's the body?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the rules, so you got to explain more.
You missed
So
all the
basically, your
Too
fender's
small.
got to come out over top of almost over what 3/4 of the tire, or is it? What is
They
it?
now
that's
say
class
that that's
two.
a class 3 truck.
So that's a class 3.
Right. They would say it's a class 3, but the way that the body's cut on the back is still not SORRCA.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
would think
class
that
3,
why they
don't care.
do SORRCA rules isn't so everybody stays still competitive.
They want everyone to be on an even playing field.
Yes.
Which, when you get into something like this, there is no equal playing field.
Well, that's why there's a class 3, so you can do whatever you want to your
Yeah.
truck, right?
Right. Now, this truck compared to Josh's truck is double what he's got into his, I'm sure. This is $1,800. I've got another truck sitting over there that's close to 2,200.
Well, that's why you're in the higher class or the higher class because
That's where you're in class 3.
that's class 3. Class 2, they want you to be kind of close together, and then class 1, they want you to be stock almost, you know.
This is my class 2 non-SORRCA truck.
No, it's not class 2. You can't be class 2 with that truck.
He said non-SORRCA. He didn't say SORRCA. He said
Non-SORRCA.
non-SORRCA.
I completely understand, but you can't say a non-SORRCA. You're in class 2 non-SORRCA
Why
because SORRCA
It's
is
class 2, your rules,
That's trail crawlers class 2.
right?
it's
Class
trail crawler class 2. It's not trail crawler almost SORRCA.
said non-SORRCA, so it means it's not SORRCA.
Non-SORRCA and almost SORRCA is the same thing. It's a
It's a SORRCA light truck.
SORRCA light.
It's not even.
That's a
I know
real
what you
thing.
mean, unknown. I know what you mean.
But
SORRCA light is real.
Yes.
It makes.
Oh yeah, SORRCA light is real. I read those rules too, and that's just as stupid as the original rules.
It's
They're-
okay.
They
makes
need to make a cliff notes of SORRCA. Four
Okay,
wheels,
what
four
is-
shocks. That's it. Go.
Unknown, what is SORRCA light? Can you clarify that?
It's basically last year's rules.
There you go.
The
There you
dumbed
go,
down
because-
version is
because
SORRCA
they-
light
no,
is
they-
last year's
what-
rules.
The reason SORRCA light came about is because they don't know how to make one set of rules. You don't have roar light. You don't have whatever light. You have rules, and that's it. There's no gray area. SORRCA has a huge gray area and not enough black and white. That gray area needs to come from here all the way down to here.
The
I
way
see that spin rush. It makes it so cab only with a cage or flatbed can't play two.
No, they can,
They can
just not in class 1.
exactly.
Right.
the way I heard it and I saw it for class SORRCA light, to me, SORRCA light is people take some rules of the SORRCA and makes their own rules with it. So they take
Yeah.
certain part of it, but not all of it.
Yes,
to make their own rules.
Yeah, I can't even
Their
say it's
basis is
equivalent.
last year's rules, and then it's up to the host of the event to
Announce.
adjust accordingly.
Yeah, announce what he
And
how
wants.
they want to
involved.
modify it.
Now, if I'm going to an event and I look up, I just don't show up. I say, all right, what kind of event is this? What are they going to do? And they say, you can have this, 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 and that. Then yes, I will build towards that, because usually it's going to be, oh, I need to add a winch. I need to get a bigger tire or something like that. Now, because I got to get a gas tank and a winch and a shovel and a front bumper and a bench seat so I can get more scale points.
You got to glue your Halloween skeletons in as drivers.
Do you get scale points for each class?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
It should just be class 1.
Wouldn't be.
That makes sense. And
It wouldn't be
but-
fair to the other classes.
there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. That's why a lot of people have ran SORRCA light or
And that's why they got rid of class
Or
0.
their own.
or non-SORRCA.
So they could have like whatever club you compete at has their own set of rules, right?
Like
Yeah.
up around Dennis, no matter where we go, everything's pretty similar other than basically the winch.
Yeah,
Like
and you're
one
either
Magic-
using it or you're not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
Magic says, yeah, and it's basically tire size. You gotta have a bumper, and it's gotta be class 2S, like Dennis truck.
Yeah,
Hell,
And the
half the time they don't
recovery-
even look at them.
yeah,
And the
we,
recovery with a winch or a kinetic winch or bungee cord is not the same in SORRCA. To me, that's mind-boggling. It should be.
Well,
And-
we're even
Well,
dealing that
no,
with
not
up
necessarily.
here.
Because
No,
We're dealing with that here.
with a winch, I can go around the corner. With the tow strap or tow rope or even a kinetic winch, I can't.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can with a kinetic winch. You can go around a corner.
So it's a bungee
I
cord.
can't go around the corner a foot or 2 feet like I can with a winch. That's what I'm getting the
No,
distance.
a winch you can go farther. Yes.
That's what I meant. Further. I can't just go right around the corner with a kinetic or tow rope because first of all, that's a lot of just damn tow rope. But a winch, I can go around the corner, then around another corner and hook on somebody's truck and get pulled.
But
Yeah, it
it's
sounds like the
almost
winch should be more points, but it's not. It's
Yeah,
half.
exactly. That's what I understand. I'm thinking, I have a working winch. Not only did I have to install it, I had to figure out how to hook it up.
Yeah, but is that because
here,
the
here
winch?
you go. Here's your answer, Eric. Most of these SORRCA events are timed events. How much time is it going to take for you to set this winch up and do all this with this winch when you can do just about the same thing with this kinetic cord? That's why they've done it that way.
That still don't make any sense because
Yeah,
if
but
I have
they
a
want
winch,
you to
if
have
I
a
have a
winch.
winch,
If you
how
want to
come
waste your
it's not-
time with your winch, then that's your prerogative to do that, right?
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. And if
So
you
if
want
I
to do
have a
something
winch, I
quick
wanna
and
use
you want
it,
to do
I'm being
something quick and
timed.
easy, you want to do something quick and easy and get moving, you use the other one.
It's the hand of
That's
God.
why
Well-
that's why they charge you more for it.
Well, I mean, it depends on your winch too, because I have the new Three Brothers Atlas Pro, and I can whip it out and pull it in just about as fast as you can an elastic strap.
That's what she said.
Yep.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, the winches I have are fast. I mean, they're not. I mean, they're fast. I mean, so I'm thinking.
How fast is that?
Not
Eric?
like a harpoon type thing, but
No, it's not like I'd say it's probably.
Yeah, it shoots out like a harpoon. He
A
actually
grappling hook. That would
yells,
be
"There she
sweet.
blows!"
Grappling hook.
shoots it.
Now you got some ideas. Though. I might have to try that out. Might have to try
Well,
that.
that's why they leave it long, don't they? That's why people wrap it over the top of their car, so when they unhook it, it's already out a
Yes.
foot,
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
it's already
why.
sticking
That's
out a
why.
foot.
Right,
Right.
it takes less time to spool out than it does.
Yeah.
to spool in.
But a kinetic winch, you only get maybe what 4 to 6 inches of actual working power
Yeah.
on its own, and then it's done. Versus a winch, if you pull out 2 foot, that's
have 2
usable
feet.
all 2 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that don't make sense to me that a kinetic winch is, like 10 points versus a winch is 5.
Well,
It don't make sense.
I think because kinetic winch are better and they save time. So they're trying to ban the kinetic winch, but instead of banning it, they're saying, okay, it's going to cost you more points. Therefore, we don't want you to use it, but it's going to cost you more point if you do use it because it's going to
All right.
delay the.
Somebody's got to kick Manage RC out of here.
Oh, why?
what?
He says he likes spending time with his wife.
Yeah. She must have hit you over the head with a frying pan. Right now.
He's trying to get brownie points here. What's going on?
She must be watching or something.
There's the other thing too with a winch. If you look on the top of Joe's truck in the background, you see the button in the center of his
You're right,
roof line.
Sean.
Oh yeah, that's the
It's an
G
assist.
spot.
The
bearing.
G spot.
G spot.
And what's the G spot for?
So you can
stretch
pull
your
your
winch
winch up and you can run it across it. So now that you could do left and right pulls instead of
pull your
straight
truck up.
forward.
Yeah. Keep it
So
on the
for
ground.
So you can side hill. So like if you've got a
Must be the
nasty half a width path
That's
to go
cheating.
through,
That's cheating.
What's up, Joe?
Not
that's
cheating.
genius.
Then the rules.
It's in the rules.
That's just a permanently attached block and tackle. That's the way I look at it.
Pretty much.
Right, it's an advantage point to having a regular winch on the truck versus a kinetic. You can't do it with a kinetic.
Plus, it's like
Can't
a
do that
scale
with-
accessory.
Exactly.
It's a working scale accessory.
Yeah,
Right.
it has a bearing in it too.
Because I
You
saw
get
that,
points, man.
I saw that on some guy's truck last year, and I put it on, and some people liked it, and then it finally caught on. Now I don't see why other people don't have it, because I love mine, because it's got me out of some sticky situations.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's an art. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it
gotta
is. It
you gotta
really
think
is.
out. You gotta think outside the box to use that.
Yeah, because that's when, if you're not good at trigonometry or geometry, don't do it, because it will get you in a worse situation.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll roll you over.
Someone said if I
Well, not
like
only
time with my winch.
Huh.
So I think a tow strap could be, you could get one that's on the car that's 2 feet long, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the thing of it
If you want to
is,
drag it around with you,
It
yeah.
only stretches so far
Well,
though.
a tow strap cannot pull your car by itself.
No, I know, but you could make it go farther out if you wanted to get if you're doing teams.
well, but
no, that's why
well,
you
see,
want it.
but see, you said the magic word teams, and that never happens. I mean, that's a very specific event that you have a buddy to actually call in to get your ass out of a jam. Any
Right.
other time, it's a kinetic strap because it's creating that energy to pull you out of your bad spot, or you're using the power of a winch. Never, unless it's a specific buddy comp, he's not there to help you.
You're out there by yourself.
Right.
Yep.
It's just like me at the end of the month. I am going to do a buddy system, but the rules is
Buddy
going to
count?
stipulate that if your buddy wants to take off by himself, he doesn't have to stay with you. Like, if he wants to run alone, that's his prerogative. And
Oh, no, you can't have, there's no sense in having it then. If you're going to say you're going to have a buddy, he can run off on his own, there's no sense in having it. No, you need to have it. No man
you
left
need a
behind.
team. Let me tell you,
Right.
where we're going to have our comp, you need a buddy with you to bring you up certain areas. You need that friend. And if somebody says, "Screw that, I'm going to run this by myself," he's an ass and he's not playing fun with the other guy. Like, and that's why I want to show people, this is buddy, this is here to have fun. You got to have fun. I'm not going to tell them you got to stick together, but you do have to help each other.
You should change that up completely and just connect them.
I know. Well,
like
a
fighting with
few
muscles
years
on
back,
your hands.
That's a blast. That was fun.
yeah, a few years back, Green Frog actually printed some, and he made some for some of his event he wanted to do. It's a magnet, and it's a 3D printed sleeve that you put the magnet together, and it actually sticks together. And then you have two hooks that hooks up on the car. And the thing is you got to run the whole course, but these magnets cannot come apart. As soon as they're apart, you're over. It's not the
Well,
you've ran it with a rope attached to each other.
yeah.
What I'm saying is you put a magnet in the
No,
middle.
yeah,
and it
I know what you're
changes all
saying.
that.
Yeah, you can't break it. Yeah, the one we did, you was able to use your buddy. So like
Yeah.
if whoever was leading couldn't get up, then he could push you or whatever, then you actually pulled him over, or vice versa. You could use him to put tension to control your drop.
You got to make sure you got the good truck in the front, the more capable truck in the front, so you
It
can
was
pull you
random
out.
draw.
Oh, you guys did a random draw. So the first name you
Yep.
pick, that's the one that's in the lead.
That was the lead. Yep.
Oh, damn, that sucks. I would hate to see. I would like to do something like that.
But that was a blast.
You
I
have a
only
Gen
put
8
the,
in the front and a Capra in the back. That would be fun.
No
Yeah,
man
but
left
even the better truck in the back can push it.
behind. Yeah.
Here, Josh, Eric, what if your name is drawn and then the next person that you get drawn with is 14 years old?
You win.
We probably
You
win.
win. That's right.
You win, 'cause
Honestly,
that 14
honestly, I would rather take the 14-year-old than the 41-year-old.
Oh,
Yeah.
that hurts.
Hey, I'm sorry, because you know why? Some of y'all motherfuckers be like, oh, don't go that way. I don't want to scratch in my truck. I'm like, I don't give a damn about your truck. We're trying to win. Because I know some people out there, Dennis.
What?
Huh?
So for anybody that's new here watching, I know we have a stinky cola that's in there. If ever somebody wants to come in here in the panel with us, send me an email at thetankrc@gmail.com. So that's thetankrc@gmail.com, and I'll send you a link to join in. So
And Guru is a lot nicer than his mean
Guru's
mugging
down
face here.
Because the 14-year-old doesn't care about scratching up his truck.
Dude, somebody wants some money tonight.
No, that 14-year-old drove
Was
better
Jay?
than
Was
almost
Josh's son?
everybody there.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
with
if I
that being
ever-
said, I was teamed up with him and there was a 48-year difference.
wow.
Yeah, we us four get together and we're doing something like that. I'm taking Jay over both of y'all. Y'all can just go.
All right.
Or get that battery. I wish we would have came this
Hey,
weekend.
Tony.
Hey, Tony.
That's the same
Tony.
battery I use, man. It's a good
Yep.
one.
I wish I had it this weekend. Or early this week.
So Eric, you take Jay and then Josh and I'll team up. Or Joe and I'll team up.
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
That would be a good name for that comp, though. Call it a tug buddy system.
You go ahead and call it
Home
that.
Tommy's actually made their
Yeah.
winch that.
You go ahead and call it that. See what happens.
Bug buddy. Yeah.
Is there gonna be a white van giving out candy too?
With a band?
Tug buddy competition. There we go.
Oh,
Hey, when
man,
you
sorry,
get
buddy.
when you get off the stream, you might want to Google that before you put the name on.
Yeah, it just did not sound right.
Yeah, I was gonna say Urban Dictionary might come into use on this one.
Yeah. Some people might call that clickbait when you post it on your YouTube.
Oh, it'll definitely be
Oh,
clickbait.
yeah.
It'll definitely be clickbait. If he does it, if he were to do that and do the right thumbnail, oh my goodness.
Hey, what about 2 trucks, 1 cup?
Wow. That's a muddy situation.
Candy van. That's a good build idea, candy van.
Candy van.
Boy, is this stream taking a turn south.
I was just
Completely
thinking
lost
that out of all
It's happening in the
things to
chat.
say,
It's happening in the chat.
You're
100
not gonna
years from
find
now,
it.
somebody's still gonna be saying 2 girls.
One cup. Yep.
No, stay within the RC there.
Yeah,
That's
But
like
you're not-
15
One
years ago,
diff.
right?
Yes, that's a long time
15.
ago.
It's been a minute.
That makes me feel old.
Keith, are you still there?
Keith
I
is
guess
just
Keith is
Yeah,
gone.
his guy's not
Maybe
rocking.
he's sleeping. He's been very quiet tonight.
I see
Here's the
him.
shadow.
There he is.
There he
There he
is.
is. There
Yeah, your mic's not working. Your mic's not working. Probably off.
Yeah, there it is. I'm painting.
Oh, you're
He's in a whole
painting.
other world.
Doing
He's holding a really fast truck.
Is that a
JD.
grand haul?
I don't know if y'all can see this, but I'm putting
Yeah.
this on my trailer hitch.
You're
Is that
putting
a
that on your-
claymore? It looks like a claymore.
It's the Claymore. It says front. I got a paint. I just printed it today.
Oh, you're on mirror. Oh, no, you're not. Front toward
Towards
enemy.
Oh, that's a, what do they call those, claymores?
Yeah.
yeah, we just said that 9 times.
You need to make some scale ones to put in the back of your truck.
I need to make some real ones. Fuck the scale ones. Oh, I'm sorry. We're still on that. No, I do need to make some scale ones. That'd be
Should SORRCA have age-specific classes?
Stork is the king.
That vintage said that.
I don't think age is gonna make a difference.
No.
I was gonna say, you know, we got a 16-year-old that kicks 70-year-olds that have been racing for 40 years around for fun.
Yeah, I know some 8-year-olds that are pretty good with controlling them. So
Yeah,
no.
well, my 14-year-old kicked all our butts on the last parking lot wars. He came in first in both the categories.
Well, this past May at Beat the Creek, we watched a 15-year-old kick the shit out of a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
And he's done that for the last 3 years.
Oh, I bet you didn't see that coming.
JD's is coming out with very interesting comp names and
Hug and run. Oh shit! You at the same time, go get it.
So I think we established, Tank, you're not running any SORRCA rules at your event.
the only SORRCA rules I'm going to use is probably just a tire restriction. That's the only thing.
What are you gonna do? Outlaw tires?
Yeah, the tires that are banned and also the size of the tires.
Okay, since we're talking about tires, why does that even matter? What kind of tire do I use? Because if I can't control my vehicle, it's not going to matter what kind of tire I have.
No,
Just the
because
drive.
some of those tires, when you go to a comp, they don't measure the tire. They look at the tire and it's written on it the measurement of the tires, and that puts you in a different
Oh, you
class.
talking about measurement? I'm
They're
talking
thin.
about driving.
No,
I understand that, but
Eric's
if you have a
talking about-
big tire, you're going to be in class 3. If you have a smaller tire, you're going to be in class 2, and tiny tires. Are
Oh
going to
yeah. I understand that. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about
He's asking about the
there's
rest.
certain brands of tires that
Yes.
that SORRCA would not allow, and there's some events that people say
Yeah,
no, you can't use that tire.
And that's what I'm trying to explain to you, because when we go to events, you look on the tire, it's written the size of it. We don't actually measure the tire. But some of those tires, they're written that they're small, but they're not. They're actually bigger than what's written on the tire.
So are you going to designate a specific tire for each class?
No, tire size, yes.
Just tire size.
right, your overall diameter can't be any bigger than 4.75.
And what are the wraps? What are the wraps? What, 4?
The ruptures
Sarah Penny?
are 4.91.
Oh, where's that tire at? Matter of fact, I got a tire for you that I can't use. I think it's a landmine. It's a 1.9.
So here's the tire diameter. Class 1 is 4.19, maximum diameter. Diameter.
No,
That's
that's
the
not
maximum.
it. Keep going down.
So the class 2 is 4.75 for class 2. And tire lugs may be removed. Before this, you could not remove in class 2. Tire lugs were not allowed to be removed in class 2, but now they do allow it. In
You
other
mean
words,
like
modify your
tire carving, like removing
Yeah.
so you get more aggressive.
That is correct. Last year, I believe class 2, you could not modify your tire. Only in class 3 you could, but this time they've changed that. Me, it's going to be modification is not allowed in class 2, only in class 3. So I will take the tire size, and probably this is not
6 inches.
Hey,
There's one that says class 3 for 6 inches maximum diameter.
yes.
Yeah.
That's a big tire. That's a damn big tire. That's a 60-inch tire in real life.
Joe, it's not my birthday.
And these are tires that are banned.
Happy birthday, Guru.
So
Happy birthday,
is it his birthday really?
No.
birthday
My
Yeah.
birthday is the day after yours, Tank.
Yeah, it's his
That's
birthday. Just wish him a happy birthday.
Every
Day
day's
before
his
mine.
birthday.
See, I have some of these J concept ruptures. I have how many? 2 full sets.
The landmines are legal, just not the ruptures.
I have 2 sets of those ruptures.
Happy birthday, Mav.
Big concept.
It doesn't work that way.
Deluxe goats, never heard of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in there that I haven't heard.
Ibex.
I believe that the deluxe goats, they're a brand of tire that Deluxe made for the Moab builds. They're motor on axle.
That make the shocks.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, those goats, they're on his website, and like I said, they're for those super ones that look like they look real weird. They got the skinny, that almost looks like a bicycle tire.
Oh, the Moabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of those comp tires that they even cut the rims, they cut it, and it looks like a bicycle tire. It's crazy.
You better chill out, girl.
Now, there's one tire that they didn't put on that list that's been on the list for a long time, is the axial ripsaws.
Oh, yeah?
It's been on the ban list for a long time, and they don't have it on there right now. And I have a set of those that are 2.2s.
So you can use
it. I don't see it on that list of banned tires. I'll put them back on my 2.2s and I'll run them.
They're probably dry rotted by now, ain't they?
No.
Right, James. No, James. No.
Well, happy birthday to you too, James.
Oh, y'all lost this game. Y'all just give it up.
Shot in the dark, Guru, next week, right?
My birthday ain't till December.
So my birthday's coming and gone. It was last month.
My birthday, me and James got the same birthday, and my birthday fall in between Keith and Tank.
Yep.
I think yours, hold on, let me make sure. I got a number in my mind that's a single digit.
If anybody's in the chat and or even here on the video are into 1/24 scale, check out Maz Design. He's got a lot of cool stuff.
That cheat code.
On that site right there.
Maz dash.
Oh, is Maz in the chat? Hey, Maz.
Yeah, Maz in the chat.
Long time no talk, man.
I talk to that chump every day.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're not.
Yeah, I gotta get me a pair too. You got a Labor Day sale going on. Is that what that was? It was some type of sale.
Labor Day was last month.
Was it?
Yeah, we're in
You get a
October.
discount for your birthday then.
Yeah.
Our Thanksgiving is coming up on Monday.
Oh, Thanksgiving. Dang, I forgot about that coming.
Brad, man, I missed you.
Your
man.
Thanksgiving coming up on Monday, then?
Oh, it's just a restock and new
Before
products available
Easter?
now. That's what it is.
Halloween?
It's restock, new
Just
products
seeing you on
available.
the screen here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Brad,
Brad,
you got to fly out here next year.
What?
Congratulations.
On getting
You gotta
your arm up.
You got an armor shirt on. You need to fly out here next year. I'll take you to that Tamiya
Look,
convention.
Brad is going to be very busy shortly.
Yeah,
Okay.
he never
The
answered
Gorgon over there.
You never answered my comment.
Yeah.
What?
You never answered me.
His comment, Guru commented on your video. You did not answer it.
I thought I answered you.
Did you? Let me look.
I just gave it a thumbs up. I didn't comment yet.
I wanted to know who was building it because I knew he wasn't. but
No, yeah, I said I'm gonna build it. I did
I
mention
asked him
something.
if he was going to build it.
I go, yes, but I'm gonna wait till my friend is here so he can put up.
Brad, you got to get that
what?
squash van kit.
You need
I
shock
would
oil.
love to have the squash fan kit, but I can't afford it. A friend gave me this Gorgon
Yeah, how come you didn't mention his name?
because they wanted it to stay anonymous.
Ah, okay. It's a new elf.
You know, you can always sell some rigs and move money around, you know.
Brad's like
I
Britney
like my
Spears, son
rig.
of conservatorship.
Yeah, he don't move nothing around. We've already gone through this.
I am tempted to sell my WL toy, but the person I want to sell to hasn't come around in a long time.
Brad selling some RC cars? Say it ain't so.
I said I'm tempted to sell that WL toy.
Tempted.
God bless whoever gets that Kyosho Toyota Tacoma. The price tag on that is about $750. I'm
Wow.
guess the
What?
$750
What are you
US.
talking
Yeah,
about?
I definitely didn't see this, bro. Did you really
US,
write
it
a
ain't
whole-
that much.
What's $700?
Hey,
Because I'm converting from Japanese yen to dollars. That
Okay,
Toyota
what we-
Tacoma looks beautiful.
Yeah,
I
but is
said,
that
are you
just
going to
suggested
build it?
retail?
Look what
What are you
Brad
talking
put.
about, TJ?
Damn, he put a story.
Oh, you got a story.
He didn't just comment.
What you write a fucking autobiography?
Guru says, when you going to be done with
it?
it? 2.5 pages later. Oh, okay.
Right.
You
Like,
should have just made another video. That's what you should have done. Instead of writing that long paragraph, you should have made it short. You've been done.
right.
Brad, you should have just been building it now.
Everything.
What?
You should have been building your car now.
You
Because
don't like building
I'll
on
end up
live.
swearing and getting snappy with people, and I don't want to.
Yeah, you
Oh,
don't
we
like
love it
building
when
I
on
you
get
live.
do that.
frustrated. I get frustrated. So
Yeah.
No, Brad, you don't get frustrated. You get pissed off.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it is.
frustration turns to
Let's
pissed off.
just call it. No, like irate.
Nate,
I don't want to do that in front
Brad
of people.
really,
It's
Brad
frustrating.
changes from like
Dr. Jekyll.
Dr. Jekyll. Yeah, when he's building on a live video, he turns into Dr. Jekyll when
Oh,
he's
he turns into Hyde.
He turns into crazy. That's what he turns into.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
You
Mr.
turn into
Hyde.
crazy.
Mr. Hyde's the
And I
crazy
don't want to
one,
do
right?
that.
Yeah.
I don't like
I
to do
love
that.
it.
Why? We like watching it. It makes it good for
Yeah.
the
No,
show.
because I don't like
Oh
taking
man,
it out
it
on
is
you guys. I
so
just don't like
exciting
it.
for the show.
It entertains us.
See what
Like
you
when-
started.
it's like when
Hey,
Keith gets
Brad
mad.
building the kit.
No,
Everybody
wrenching.
That'd be quite a spectacle. I
Brett,
think that'd be funny.
Brett goes from like, yeah, okay, this to fuck this shit.
Oh,
You know?
I don't want to make a big spectacle and piss off people.
oh, it's too late for that,
Oh,
Brad.
people
That
like that.
that train's gone.
I don't want to do it. Okay, Eric, I don't want to do it again. Is that
Hey, guys.
better?
Well, guys, just drop
It's
the
like a
subject
reality
on that.
show.
Good thing it's almost at
Next.
the end of the show, so good thing. But
Next.
just try to change subject because you're all gonna get Brad
He's
mad.
already getting smoking.
Yeah, and people start picking on him more once we start pulling on his stream, and let's stop that now, please. Jem
Thanks,
says
Papa Tank.
Jem
You're a
says the
downer.
rumor is that Psycho 13 Garage gave the Brad the Gorgon.
That's a good friggin' rumor.
That's a
Dirk,
rumor.
you know,
And then Psycho replied, Jem's hobby, if I had the money for a Gorgon, it would go to my house and not Brad's.
that new red cat there, Psycho. You can buy 2 of them. Send one to me.
Just send one to me too.
Well,
Microwave
that's 3.
King,
There you go.
You know what?
I
Microwave
want the
King
blue
is in
body.
the chat.
Hey,
I want the
John,
Arma Mojave. So
I'll
send
take
me
the
one
red
of those.
one, blue one. I don't
Grass
care.
is nice.
I could see you getting a Gorgon, John, and the builder's kit because you like to tinker.
Not
Not
anytime
tinkering at
soon.
the building.
What?
Not anytime soon. Why do I want a 2-wheel drive monster truck?
Yeah,
Because
they
it's a
should have made
different
it
feeling.
4-wheel drive.
Hello, mate.
It's a different
Hello,
feeling.
Governor.
Hit the price point. That's why they made
What's
it.
up, Flo?
Yeah,
Microwave
but
Jacks?
2-wheel drive.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry,
you got
Outback Jack.
another $250 or more just to make it 4-wheel drive and have a
Fuck
3F
that.
system, and that's stock. And that'll be stock.
Just buy a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It doesn't come 4-wheel drive, I don't believe.
I know, but I said
No, it
just
doesn't.
buy
You
a
can't
4-wheel
change it to
drive.
4-wheel drive. But what I've seen is a consistent jumper. It jumps quite well, and it's tough.
Okay. Let's agree to disagree that that Arma, we're not gonna get it. because some of us won't anyways. But it's close to
Thanks, I'm not drunk.
11:30, so let's start saying our goodbye, and we're going to start with Brad.
Thanks. Glad the panel grew. Thank you for everybody in the panel showing up. Hope to see you all again, and hope some of you will want to come onto the panel after hours. So thanks, Frank. And I don't like breaking things because it frustrates me.
Cool. And next is going to be Mr. Original Jack Thin Pizza Guru.
Everybody hit that thumbs up. All skills matter. You know what it is.
Thank you very
That's what
much.
she said.
Ken's hobby.
Thanks for having me, Tank. It was interesting debate on us basically just saying how bad SORRCA is tonight.
Yes.
And it's always fun being here, man.
Thank you. John Martin.
Thanks for having me, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you very much. Kurt.
Thanks for having me, Tank, and everybody have a great Friday.
Thank you. Trail Crawler RC.
Thanks for the invite, Tank. It was different talking about SORRCA rules and non-SORRCA. And please don't
Light
do that again.
The person that really enjoys and loves SORRCA, unknown RC.
SORRCA rules. So
Yeah.
thanks for the invite, Tank. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope to see you all on the flip side. Stay green. Peace.
Thanks. Spin Rush.
Hey, it's been a minute. It's just great seeing everybody here today. Once again, thanks for the invite. Everybody stay positive. Love SORRCA. Hashtag love SORRCA.
Yeah,
Take him
it's
off
weird
your
that you
email
show up.
list.
It's weird, so Spin Rush, you show up tonight on a topic that you basically know nothing about or doesn't affect you at all from where you are.
But
Right.
it's a learning experience. I mean, that's the thing. You
Right.
want to be in these lives so you pick up and learn. While you were talking about it, I was Googling it and looking at the PDF and reading about it. So yeah, I'm with Eric, man. I'm with Eric. I'm like, whoa.
Thank you. Nate.
Always an enlightening time on these meets, and I appreciate it. And everybody keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. KBRC 13.
Thanks for the invite, Tank. Thumbs up on the way out. Keep your RC muddy, your hamster smiling, and I don't know about SORRCA.
And
Nobody
you don't
does.
care about SORRCA.
Yeah, don't care.
Truck Tech Joe.
Thanks for inviting me. It's a good topic tonight and some good discussions. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much. And like somebody said, let's all agree that SORRCA rules don't rule. There's a lot of discrepancy I find in the rules. Take it if you want it. But if somebody does an event, check the rules before you go to make sure you build the truck that's going to compete either in a class or whatever. So always check. That's my main thing out of this. Check the rules of where you're going to have fun. And hopefully they just do like the G6, which is just for fun. Take a tow rope, take a winch, don't touch your truck. Those to me are the funnest event because that's when you can have chit chat with people. It's more relaxing. It's not timed event, but just have fun. Go out there. Go out there and charge up some batteries and go out there and have some fun and break something. Because if you're not breaking anything, you're not having any fun, right, Nate?
Exactly.
Not about John.
See you later.